What's up everybody, The One London here, and welcome to what will be a series of videos teaching you how to play better and smarter in Rocket League. Now when it comes to myself, I have quite a bit of experience with this game. I bought the game when it first came out on Steam, and shortly after, I quickly learned the basics of the game and realized how much depth this game actually has, which made me want to get better at it. I eventually made it to number 1 in the top 100 global leaderboard for goals, and I held that position for a good 2 to 3 weeks. Once late August rolled around, I found myself up at PAX Prime, where I found out the PAX Arena was hosting a Rocket League tournament. My friend Max and I knew we would do well, so we entered. A staggering 64 teams of 2 entered the competition, leaving Max and myself a bit worried. Believe it or not, we ended up making it to the top 8 teams, the quarterfinals. We were unfortunately eliminated, but I've still been playing this game almost every day since. Now, enough about myself. Today's topic will be ground game, aka ball control, thinking ahead, and outsmarting your opponent. Let's get started. Alright, now the first thing you're going to want to do in terms of getting a decent kickoff is to front flip as late as you possibly can. Why late? Because the closer you are to the ball and the speed you're going when you start your front flip makes it so that your car is forced downward when the front or roof of your car connects to the ball, causing you to land on your wheels faster than your opponent. Here's an example. And here it is again in slow motion, in case you didn't catch it the first time. So as you can see right here, I'm already on the ground, the ball's up in the air, and my opponent is pretty much where the ball is. So this gives me a huge advantage in terms of the kickoff. It gives me the opportunity to hit the ball over to my opponent's side, giving me the upper hand when it comes to the first goal. Next, we're going to cover keeping the ball under your control. As you can see, my opponent currently has control of the ball. Now, there are plenty of things you could do to gain control of the ball again. I used the front flip to boost my way back to my goal and set up in a defensive position. I predicted where the ball was heading and went for a wall hit, which can be a risky move. We'll cover those in a future episode. Now, a wall hit isn't what you should normally go for. The only reason I hit it off of the wall was because with the way the ball was rolling, it would have ended up in front of my goal, which is too much of a risk. Another thing I'd like to bring up is dribbling, or hitting the ball over or around your opponent. Dribbling the ball can be a very good way to keep the ball away from your opponent. However, when dribbling the ball can be very easily snatched from you by a simple front flip or an unexpected hit. Mix things up a bit. Hit the ball with a decent amount of force to the left or right, or maybe even straight forward, or up high to throw off your opponent and possibly set yourself up for a shot, like in this clip here. Things like wall hits, clears, and other ways of getting the ball out of your opponent's hands and knowing how to execute them properly will be a huge help towards keeping your defense strong. The next thing I'd like to bring up is quite possibly one of the most important things in my opinion: prediction. Predicting where the ball will be ahead of time will give you a massive upper hand over any opponent. Once you learn the general physics of the game and how the ball works, you're going to have a much easier time predicting where the ball will be, whether it be a wall bounce, your opponent hitting it, or even at the kickoff. I can't stress this enough. Spend some time playing with a friend or playing in some unranked matches online, and really take the time to learn how the game's physics truly work. If you're spending your time rushing towards the ball, hitting it, and hoping something good happens, you're going to have a bad time. Trust me. Up next, we have offense. A good offense is key in any situation. Usually, you would want to do things that would throw off your opponent, like aerials or wall hits, but a strong and consistent ground game is very important. A lot of the time you will find yourself in a situation where the ball will bounce off of a wall near or the wall of your opponent's goal. Most people would then turn around, head back to their side of the field, and wait for their opponent to play the ball, and then the match turns into a game of back and forth. However, my playstyle is a bit different than other people's, and I believe this is a factor in why I win most of the matches I play. I say go for those rebound shots. If the ball bounces off of a wall near the opponent's goal, or the outer walls of the goal itself, make sure you have enough distance from the ball and go in for a second shot. The thing about rebound shots is that most people don't expect them. In fact, I purposely set up rebound shots just to throw people off. The trick is, you must have a decent angle that you feel comfortable shooting from. Considered you're a decent shot, then the probability of making shots like these and confusing your opponent is much higher. A good way to practice these shots are either playing with a friend in a 1v1 or simply going into an exhibition match on your own and practicing hitting the ball near the goal and hitting the ball with a rebound shot back into the goal. Practice this from many different angles until you feel comfortable trying it online. Another very important thing about offensive play is to aim your shots. Yes, it's possible with enough practice. Finally, you won't be randomly smashing into the ball, hoping you get a goal. With enough time and practice, you'll start to figure out your car's hitbox. Now, if you don't know what a hitbox is, think of it as, well, a box around your car. When the ball collides with this box, it will bounce off. It's basically what makes your car a physical object, not just something anything can phase through. Anyways, each car's hitbox and turning radius is slightly different. If you play with one car long enough, you will start to learn where the best places to hit the ball with on your car are. Once you figure out your car's hitbox and practice your striking via the striker training or online matches, you'll be able to hit the ball from angles you never thought you'd be able to hit it from. Just remember, this all comes with practice. Now, if you spend the time to practice everything I've shown you in this video, you will always have an advantage. Make sure you practice your kickoffs, ball control, predicting where the ball will be at all times, and make sure you practice your offensive game, aiming your shots, outsmarting and juking your opponent, and always having the upper hand. It all comes down to practice. If you put the time in, I promise you will see results. And before you know it, you're a professional Rocket League player. I hope you all enjoyed the first part to this series. Let me know what you want to see next in the comments below. Enjoy the rest of these clips, and I will see you all in the next video.